going well? My day is going. It started off a little frustrating if you was looking at my Twitch page earlier, but it has cleared up now. I'm waiting on customer service to hit me up, and we'll be moving forward from there. But anyway, I hope your day is going well on this great November the 5th. It's a beautiful day here in Texas. It's like 70-ish, so it feels good outside. I had the door open, but while I'm recording, I had to close it because the dogs get to running in and out, and we ain't got time for all that. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. I have a couple things that I want to talk about. And the first thing I want to talk about is, when did the Housewives become such a criminal show? Goodness gracious. Did y'all notice that? It's like that's all the criminals are going now. I'm serious. You got you got Wendy over here with the whole fraud charges, allegedly. And it's taboo for Real Housewives to speak on each other. But the Real Housewives world is buzzing because Emily Simpson, she shared her thoughts on Wendy and Eddie Osaka when she was doing a recent podcast, right? So the podcast, I believe the name is Virtual Reality, and whatever. So she spoke, and shout out to them, not whatever today thing, but shout out to them. But the Real Housewives of Orange County Star, she spoke pretty candidly about the case, and she didn't sound too optimistic about the situation. So in quote, she said, "I know Wendy, and I think she's lovely. She's always been so kind to me anytime I've met her. hmm I do kind of dig, she said, I did kind of dig into that case and I read about it, and it doesn't look good. I'll just say that. I do hope that she she has some kind of solid defense. I know I read some things about them searching saying that they searched and might have some illegal stuff going on with the search, but I don't know. It seems like they have a lot of evidence against them, child. It don't look amazing. Now, y'all recall when they Eddie were arrested last month in Maryland after they were being accused of staging a burglary at their home in April of 2024. Child, they said they was in Jamaica. Now, the pair is facing several felony charges connected to what prosecutors alleged was a false insurance claim involving luxury items. Investigators say some of the supposed stolen items were later returned for refunds, and that Wendy was spotted wearing one of the missing items after the alleged break-in. And of course, you guys remember they talking about her wedding ring that was stolen. So, but we gonna wish the best for Wendy and all that she can do and does and whatnot. And moving on to the next fraudulent case, right? So, rumors came out, and well, actually not even rumors, receipts, baby, because I put them up on the slideshow. So you can always pause and take a look at it if you want to. I'll pause here for a second. Now, all right. Now, Real Housewives of Potomac star Kay, she filed for a bankruptcy just 2 years just 2 years ago. Now, check this out, child. Now, in the documents, Kay reportedly listed total debts around about $500,000, including business loans, and about 75,000 in credit card balances. Right? She also disclosed that she owned no real estate in the time of her filing. Now, her listing of the assets included a 2021 Range Rover. What in the world? It was valued at $46,000, but she owed, wait a minute, 82,000. Yes, the truck was valued at 46,000. She owed 82. Mm-hmm. Now, beyond that point, she reported having $200 in her bank and less than 2,000 combined in her accounts and stock holdings. Now, the bankruptcy was finalized in June of 2023, and the court discharged all of her listed debts. Now, peep this out. Now, what makes the story even more surprising is the timing, child. Now, Kay was actively filming The Real Housewives of Potomac around the same period her bankruptcy was being finalized. Now, on screen, she presented herself as a thriving entrepreneur with luxury taste, child, hosting parties, wearing designer looks, and discussing her business ambitions. The contrast between the Bravo image and her recent financial filing has left fans buzzing. All online, all on Beyonce's internet. Many are now wondering whether her upcoming storylines on the Housewives will address her, financial turnaround or just skip straight on past that chapter. Now, to be clear, bankruptcy doesn't always spell disaster. Many Americans use Chapter 7 to wipe the slate clean and rebuild their finances. Since her case closed, Kay appears to have made a remarkable rebound, landing a covenant full-time role on the Housewives and securing multiple brand partnerships. Now, the industry insider says she's been working real hard to reshape her image and solidify her business ventures. Now, fans still can't help but to be curious about how fast her fortunes change, right? Now, whether Kay decides to open up about her financial past on camera remains to be unseen. But one thing is certain, the newest, housewife on the block has more drama in her life than she really want to let on, child. And we're gonna see if this is gonna come to fruition. But you know who did come to fruition right there in front of our eyes? Teresa Giudice over there at the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So you know her and her sister-in-law and her brother Joe and Melissa Gorgas Gorgas Gorgas, yes. Okay, so they had a sit down. They finally reunited, her and her brother and her sister in law, right? Now, a source close to Radar Online, listen, now you know Radar said it. They told him that this meeting, this conversation has been long overdue. It was a necessary step for everyone involved. Now they met privately to clear the air. Okay, it was the first real step toward fixing things. According to the report, Teresa, Joe, and Melissa agreed that their ongoing tension had gone on long enough. With the Bravo series on pause since the 14th season wrapped in 2024, the family reportedly realized that this constant drama was holding everyone back. Okay? Now they want to get back to work and stop the fighting. It was time to move forward. The meeting was described as calm, respectful, conversation rather than a confrontation. Now, sources confirming that the get together was not filmed, okay? It was completely private. There were no cameras, there was no production, there was no production team, no one was involved. Teresa had previously expressed her desire to reconcile with Joe and Melissa and denied her willingness to secure her position to the upcoming season. Yeah, okay. Now, producers have reportedly grown tired of the years long rift and were considering giving her the boot anyway. So, yeah, you might want to go ahead on and chalk that up, my darling. Now, speaking of small fries, now Tory Lane has been ordered to participate in a third deposition as part of the Meg Thee Stallion's ongoing defamation lawsuit. Now, this is despite his legal team's effort to avoid the process. Now, in late September, I told y'all. Now, y'all gonna go ahead on and listen to my lip ass videos if y'all want to before Twitch delete them automatically. You know, that ain't me, that's Twitch, right? Because I don't have the energy to be storing all that video, okay? Now, in late September, I told y'all about this now. Was I on here late September? I was on here late September. Late September, I told y'all about this. Now, Lanes filed a protective order seeking exemption. However, the Miami-Dade Circuit Judge denied the request, thus requiring the Canadian rapper to move forward with the proceedings. Now, according to reports, the judge ruled that Lane's appeal was filed too late, leaving no room for an explanation. Right, right. Now, the motion had argued that as an incarcerated individual, he could face undue hardship and prejudice. This was in connection with his ongoing criminal appeal if compelled to testify further. The filing stated, in quote, Mr. Peterson, an incarcerated non-party with NP versus Cooper, and then they got the number, faces undue burden to his ongoing criminal appeal and constitutional risk if compelled to provide further deposition testimony, right? So the judge clarified that the deposition centers on Lane's relationship with Milagro Cooper, also known as Milagro Graham. It does not focus on his interactions with Meg Thee Stallion. She indicated that any testimony regarding Cooper is unlikely to affect Lane's criminal appeal, therefore separating the criminal and the civil dimensions of the case. right? So, as y'all know, Cooper is the subject of a defamation lawsuit filed by Meg Thee Stallion. The lawsuit alleges she accepted payments from Lange and his family. This was to advance a smear campaign against the Houston rapper. The litigation has been active for over a year now, drawing significant attention from both fans and the media. Now, as the deposition nears, Lange will need to navigate the process carefully under court supervision, right? And this is what the judge was emphasizing. The Fifth Amendment doesn't allow a witness to skip a deposition entirely. He can only refuse to answer specific questions that might incriminate him. If the court resolving those issues as they arrive, and the court will resolve those issues as they arrive. Now, this guidance followed reports from an April deposition that Lange reportedly displayed disrespect towards one of Meg Thee Stallion's legal team members, right? A matter that could result in fines or other court sanctions. So these, issues will be addressed after, the upcoming session. So this is going to be interesting. So he better watch what he says. He's going to have a lawyer in there. So, hopefully the lawyer be able to, I object or whatever the case, what they be doing, child. Now, speaking of object, Jake Paul slams human piece of garbage, Gervonta Davis, over fight cancellation. Now, I didn't even know that he canceled the fight. Like, I knew that the fight was happening, right? But I also knew that people were laughing at Gervonta because they looked at Jake Paul as a joke. Like that's where you go and get your last check as a boxer, it seems like. You get what I'm saying? Like he paid Mike Tyson off because everybody watched that fight. And it's kinda like a joke. It's like if you didn't think it was a joke after watching Mike Tyson, you just knew it was a joke because Mike didn't try it at all. And if you're a Mike fan, you know, right? Now, Jake Paul has reacted to the news that his upcoming exhibit fight against Gervonta Davis has been canceled after Davis was hit with a fresh battery assault from an ex-girlfriend. Ooh, child. Now, Gervonta Davis is an actual walking human piece of garbage. This is what he said. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, the showing up hours late to shoots, to the numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits. If you support this man, you support the most vile sin a man can commit. Nah, I mean, I don't disagree, but the most vile is not. Didn't this guy support Trump? Okay, all right, okay, all right. Okay. He continued, I didn't want to give this woman abuser a platform to grow his fans and to grow his bank account. My company champions women. I'm so sorry to everyone involved. So if you didn't want to, then why did you? Okay? Okay. I'm so sorry to everyone involved. Most to the undercard fighters, to my team at MVP, and to my team who worked so hard prepping for this fight, sacrificing time with loved ones and kids just for this fool to lose his unintelligent mind again. It's scary that devilish man like this can raise to the top of a culture in sports, including in positions of power. Wasn't Jake Paul accused of abuse as well? Wasn't he? I don't allegedly. A woman has filed a civil complaint in Miami-Dade accusing Davis of battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and other offenses tied to an alleged assault at the Miami area nightclub. The filming, the filing claims the encounter happened around 4 a.m. on October the 27th at Tootsie's Cabaret in Miami Gardens. I want to go to Tootsie's. I always want to go to Tootsie's since I heard Drake shout it out like years ago, like in 2010, 2012. But I always wanted to go to Tootsie's. It's like it goes down at Tootsie's. Everybody be there. I'm going next time I'm in Miami, I'm going to Tootsie's. Next time, even if I'm with my mama, we going to Tootsie's. We gonna go to Tootsie's, right? I tell her it's like a restaurant in the back, and she'll go on in there, and you know what I mean? You know, okay. So yeah, so it happened. The filing claims the encounter had happened around 4 a.m. on October the 27th at Tootsie's Cabaret in Miami Gardens, where the woman works as a VIP server. She alleges Davis confronted her in a VIP lounge and dragged her through the club and into the parking garage, repeatedly grabbing, choking, and hitting her. Where was security? According to the court documents, the two met in 2024 and were involved for several months. The woman says Davis had been violent in the past and had threatened her life on more than one occasion. Now, Paul called into Aiden Ross live stream and claimed that the fight had been canceled because there was video evidence of the alleged assault. Oh, so only because it was video evidence, y'all canceled it. Oh, oh, wow. Where was security at? Where was security? Speaking of security, a judge grants Diddy's fast track appeal. What is going on? I would like to thank you for tuning in and listening this far. Please click the like, share, and subscribe video. You ain't even gotta like, yeah, like the video. You do all of them if you can. I ain't asking you for no money. I'm just asking you for your click. You like that? All right. Now, Sean Diddy Combs may still be behind bars, but he faced a minor win after he was granted an expedited appeal schedule that could put him on fast track to an even earlier release. Child, hide your children, hide your family. Okay? Now, let me ask y'all a question. Is it wrong that he's trying to get out so fast and he has the money to, to expedite this? Like, if you had the money, like, okay, let's just put the shoe. Let's say, if you had the money to expedite yourself up out of jail, would you? I mean, it's like you want him to serve his time, right? Because of course, they gave you 5 years, you serve 5 years, whatever, right? Whatever, you know how they break that down and do good time and all the credits or whatever. But yeah, of course, you as the judge and the jury, yeah, you want him to go in there and sit. But if that was you like, okay, I got 5 years, but god damn it, if I could get out in 6 months, I'm gonna get out 6 months. I don't care what you feel. You sit your full time. I'm not. If the court set it up to I could get out early, I'm gonna get out early. And that's what I would be doing. So I'm not knocking it. I know that I won't be supporting anything that he does or anyone that he does it with. I will say that. You get what I mean? But I mean, that's what I do with my money anyway. With what's going on nowadays, you really have to see where your money is going besides just this one. Oh, it's just going here. No, no, no. Like, where is it going? Where is the money actually funneling and going to? And pay attention to that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You see what happened to Target. Okay. Now, Sean Diddy Combs may still, like I said, be behind bars, but the man ain't giving up. Now, after being transferred over there to that low security federal facility in New York, in New Jersey, Diddy's legal team received word from a U.S. circuit judge that she did approve for his motion for his defense attorney to go ahead on and fast track his appeals process. I'm not even surprised, child, when the money talks. According to the ruling, Diddy's opening brief is due by December the 25th, followed by the government's response in February 2026. Now, isn't he supposed to get out in May? And oral argument, and they got oral arguments expected as soon as April of that year. Now, wait a minute now. Now, look, now let's do the mathematics on here. Now, if they have to respond by December, which means that even if they submit it before December, December 24th is when they actually going to look at it, right? Right? Okay. They going to be, ain't nobody doing nothing from the 24th to the 2nd or the 3rd. I don't care what you say. Ain't nothing moving. Ain't nothing moving. The government has to February to respond. Okay. So December, they got a February. And then they got their arguments in April. If he's supposed to be out by, I think it was like May the 8th, because I know it's right after Cinco de Mayo, which is May the 5th. What the hell? You wasting money. You might well just go ahead on and sit down, player. Now, his current release date, like I said, is May 8th, 2028. Oh, May 8th, 2028. I don't know why I thought that man was getting out on May 2026. Oh. Yeah, y'all couldn't tell me nothing. I ain't about to sit in no jail all the way no May 2028. I go over there and me and Bali is up before a year or two. The world. Okay. Now his like I said, his recurrent release date is May 8th, 2028. If he wins this appeal, he could be a free man much sooner. Now Diddy, who turned 56 this month, mm, is serving time at the New York. He served time after that New York jury found him guilty on 2 counts of transporting individuals for prostitution. He was acquitted on, the more serious sex trafficking and racketeering charges that could have resulted in a lifetime sentencing. Also, his prison term, he faces a $500,000 fine and, no, excuse me, 5 years of supervised release upon his release. And they mean supervised. He gonna be on supervision for 5 years, child. Oh Lord, they ain't gonna be able to catch that freak. They ain't gonna be able to catch him. Speaking of, ain't able to catch him. Russell Simmons is returning back to the USA after settling accuser lawsuits, child. Hide your women, kids, goats, cats, and your husbands, the ones who you may not know about. Hide your A husbands, your alpha husbands. The beta husbands, you ain't gotta hide them. They already gonna be in the house waiting on you. Don't worry about them. They gonna be fine. You ain't gotta worry about them. They already at home. They probably cooked you a nice little meal, got your bath water ready, good snuggler, probably got a nice little space over there on the couch, just waiting on you to just come and just fall into his arms, child. Good old nice beta man. Bills paid. They ain't never got to worry about where he at. It's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man. Now, Russell Simmons, accordingly, like I just told you guys, he supposedly he done settled, right? Now, after years of living abroad and staying out of the spotlights, look, this man has been in more controversy in the last 10, 15 years than a little bit. Now he's preparing. What they saying is he is preparing to come back to the Americas, right? You know, after all this long running legal troubles, he feel like it might just be behind him. Now, according to a news report, Simmons has quietly reached financial settlements with multiple women who accused him of sexual assault, and so basically he done agreed to go ahead on and pay these women and settle it off. Now the reports are saying that the settlements, it started. Remember back in 2017, this is when all this stuff had hit the fan, and that's when he got ghost, right? Now Simmons has always denied the accusations, maintaining that all the encounters were consensual. And look, he called and he said that look, they all fake. Now in the wake of those allegations, the Def Jam Records co-founder he left, and he's been spending most of his time over there in Bali, Indonesia, where he has lived quietly for the last few years, practicing meditation and running a small wellness venture. Now, I really said wellness venture ain't doing what he think it needs to do because he's coming back here, right? Now, sources say that the long-standing cases have been resolved. The women involved have reportedly reached financial agreements that bring the matter to close. Now, whether Simmons, no, now, neither Simmons nor his attorneys have publicly commented. The report claims that the attorneys for several of the women confirmed that the matter has been resolved but denied to provide further details. Now, whether or not Simmons come out and say yes or no, it is what it is. You're gonna have your own opinion, right? But the reported settlements for the accusers go, they thinking that it's totaling up around $11 million, right? But they all have signed confidential agreements so that neither party can talk about it after the fact, right? Of course. Why would you want them to talk about it? Now, I thought that sexual assaults weren't covered by an NDA. Like I thought because that's criminal, right? Like I thought that you could report that if it's like within that time frame. Or like you could talk about it. Like I thought it's certain thing. You know what I mean? Like people are like, oh, I have an NDA, and it's like, well, NDAs don't count if it's something that's like criminal. So that's interesting. Now, Simmons' legal team also declined to release a statement maintaining that their client's long held position that he has not engaged in any criminal behavior it stands, right? Now, a couple sources are saying that the music mogul, he feels like the legal issues appear to be behind him, so he's planning to return back to the United States in the near future. Now, sources are also saying that Simmons has reconnected with his family and longtime business associates, including some within the entertainment and fashion industries, right? As he's exploring what potential return to the public life could look like. Now, for the past few months, Simmons has reportedly been traveling more frequently and considering relocating back to New York or even to LA, two cities where his career began and flourished at. Now, Russell Simmons remains one of the most influential figures in hip hop history. As the co founder of Def Jam Records, he helped launch careers for LL Cool J, Run DMC, Public Enemy, and built a multi billion-dollar cultural empire that included music, television, and fashion. But the wave of them allegations against him in the late 2010s dramatically changed how he was perceived, forced him to step away from nearly all of his business ventures. Because remember, he signed it over to Kamara, right? Now, if this settlement, if this these settlements are finalized and he returns back to America, right? It can mark the start of a new chapter, but the public opinion about him it still remains divided. I don't. I just like we did it. I'm not going. I watch where my money goes. I'm not telling y'all what to do with y'all money. Y'all do whatever y'all want with y'all money. I'm just saying for my money, if I see y'all on there, I'm thinking birds of a feather, and I don't like when people be flocking together on that type of stuff. You get what I'm saying? If y'all flocking and you hitting the like button or the subscribe button because you like you know what I mean, like you feeling your girl and you like, you know what, I might come through here now and then or whatever. So let me go hit on and get this to her so she don't go hit on and go in the corner and be crying and stuff and be like, you know what, I give up, and then bam, it's gone. And then I feel like I'm the one because I didn't hit the like button and I was here damn near the whole video. You know what I mean? Just because I was washing dishes, I couldn't even hurry up and just wipe my hand off real quick or take your hand out that glove because you fancy, so you don't even put your hand in water, gloves, then the water, because you don't even, you get what I'm saying? Like, don't do me like Future be doing his baby mamas. You get what I'm saying? So, child, listen, y'all gonna believe it. Let me tell you. So, rapper Future, he's blocking his baby mamas. Okay. So, okay. So let me give y'all two versions, right? So it's gonna be the truth, her truth, and you figure out what's in the middle. Now, the rapper Future is tired. Is look, he's tired of three of his baby mamas constantly calling him. So he blocked their phone numbers in his phone, according to Gorgas Doll. Y'all know the chick he used to be messing with. Now, Gorgas Doll claimed that the three women called her trying to get in touch with him. Like, this is what she said, right? She said, I've been I've had three different baby mamas hit me up over the last 3 months. They're asking me for his address. They're asking me because they've hired private investigators. I think they're grouping up. I think they're teaming up. I think these bitches really about to come for you. And you know, at the end of the day, I hate you, but I don't hate you, but I hate you, is what she said, right? You can hate somebody, you can love somebody and hate them. You know what I mean? Like she hate him, but she don't hate him, but she hate him. You get what I mean? Now, Doll went on to say um, that two of the women are in Miami and one is in Arizona. They're all hitting me up because they're saying that you're not taking care of your kids. Doll has her own problems. The former Magic City dancer was fired, and she is suing the Atlanta strip club for wrongful termination, sexual harassment, and theft of wages. She claimed a third party club promoter routinely demanded kickbacks from the dancers, pimping. The girls were allegedly forced to pay the DJ and club security from the money they collected from club patrons every night. I thought that was regular. Mm. Dahl also said she was sexually harassed by a female manager and that no action was taken when she complained. I'm speaking up for myself because I know that something was done and it was illegal, she told Fox 5 Atlanta. Now, Dahl is not one of Future's baby mothers. She did not date him. She did date him briefly, right? In a series of now deleted tweets, Futures referred to Dahl as Delulu and Messy. I don't know where this fake X energy come from. I live a private life. Anything else is clickbait. That's what Future wrote. Future has 8 children by 8 different women, including singer Ciara. I know that's a club she ain't happy to be a part of. But then again, she was, because he had like 3 or 4 kids before he got with her. So you thought you were going to be different. Okay. Now, the 3 women mentioned are by Dow are not among his known harem of baby mamas, right? Harem of baby mamas. If we believe her, that means that Future has 3 more children in the wild, which brings a total to about 11 children. Now, now let's get on over here to this yonder. Now, yeah. Oh, they just talking about they talking about what I already talked about. Okay, so now that we over that, now I am going to okay, let me read the Lamar Odom thing right quick. Okay. Now Lamar Odom, he got nostalgic on his Instagram despite Khloe Kardashian shutting him down. Child, listen. Now this happened earlier today, okay? Now Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom have been apart for far longer than they were a couple at this point. Their marriage, which followed a whirlwind romance, ended dramatically in 2013 because of Omar's, his drug use and cheating. Now, Chloe has called the relationship traumatizing and has been careful to make it very clear she is not interested in revisiting her life with Omar again, right? Now, despite that, he is making it clear that he very much isn't over it with her. Recently, he took a public scroll down memory lane on social media sharing photos of Chloe. Followers think his pursuit of his ex-wife is more like a little creepier than anything, right? Okay. Now, while the rest of the world spent Halloween dressing up and collecting candy, Lamar was deep in his feelings. The former NBA star to his account to share snapshots from his past life. In October and early November, he shared several photos that included his ex-wife. The updates have left to chatter. The updates have led the chatter about what might be happening between Omar, and Chloe. Now, the first tweet featured him spending time with Chloe at a fashion show. The photo was taken in 2016, and blah 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 blah. Listen, the man just want attention. That's all it is. The man miss the attention that come with the lady. He don't miss that woman. And I'm not about to read the rest of this to y'all because I'm ready to get over here to this other little story. But yeah, Chloe spoke out and she basically said, because he had did that sex doll, where he had created a sex doll of her, and she found that like entirely creepy or whatnot. And she wasn't alone in that because everybody thought the same way. But Chloe isn't going for it. Chloe like, listen, we not about to do it. We not about to do it at all. So she's over it. I'm glad for her. At least she could stand on something with somebody. God damn. Cause that other one just be, whew, Lord, he just ran her through the ground. Now where is that letter at? I thought I had the letter up. Hold on, wait. I thought I had the letter up and I don't. Where is the letter? You know what? I think I might have to try to read the letter another day because I don't see the letter. Is this it? Hold on. Why? I swear I just had that up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it today. Um. Oh, okay. So this is the letter. It say, I have a friend that I think is secretly jealous of my life. Okay, and it came on 10/31. So Halloween. It came on Halloween day. Okay, all right. So this is what the letter say. It says, sometimes I feel like my friend envies me more than she supports me. When I got a new car, she said must be nice with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. When I got promoted at work, she barely reacted and as if good news for me was bad news for her. It's exhausting to share my joy with someone who can't celebrate. Real friends are supposed to clap when you win, not roll their eyes. I've noticed a little dig she throws in conversations. She'll say things like, well, not everyone can afford that. Ooh, child. Or you always thinking you're right. Do you? It's like she can't help herself from trying to bring me down. These comments used to slide off of me, but now they sting. They reveal what she really thinks about me. Interesting. The more I succeed, the more distant she becomes. I used to think we're growing together, but it feels like she resents every step I take forward. Oh. Instead of being inspired, she's bitter. Instead of learning from me, she's competing. And I never signed up for a friendship built on rivalry. I keep asking myself why I still keep her around. Is it nostalgic, loyalty, or just fear of losing someone I've known for so long? But when a friendship feels more like a competition, is it even worth it anymore? I feel drained after every conversation with her. That's not what friendship is supposed to feel like. Now I'm considering cutting her off for good. It's hard because we have history, but history can't outweigh constant negativity. I need people who clap when I win and console me when I fail, not someone who secretly wants me to lose, but it's time to, oh, is it time to let her go and free myself? Ooh, child. You know what? First off, I appreciate you sending me this here letter, Miss Holly. I do. Thank you, Miss Holly. And yes, she said I could use her name. If you want to send in a letter, you can. Just say it's anonymous, and I won't say your name. But anyway, girl, listen, I would slowly but surely distance myself because as you get older, your priorities change, and maybe her priorities and your priorities are shifting. And because your priorities are focusing more on, like you said, you got a promotion at work, which means that your priority has shifted towards, getting more money, doing better in life. I guess you needed a new car. So I guess you just had just an epiphany. You said, look, I need to do some things in my life to better it because right now everything is getting hard. So big up to you for being able to do that. And sometimes it's not necessarily that someone isn't happy for you, they're just not happy with themselves, because they're not, maybe you'll get up and go. They wish they had the same that you do. And as long as you're not boasting or bragging about it, but you just genuinely like, girl, my ragged ass car, I finally got me another car. Girl, come take a look at it. Long as you're not doing it in a boastful way, but it's just generally conversating. And I could give a good example for that. For people who travel a lot, when they're talking about where they've been, they're not boasting. They're just talking about where they've been. But for somebody who's never been anywhere and they're talking to somebody who's a world traveler, it'll sound like they boasting. If that's what their mentality is. Everyone doesn't think that way. You get what I'm saying? Because you can talk to somebody who's never been anywhere, but they're just truly fascinated about the places that you've been, and they're just astonished and they like hearing your stories. But for somebody who want to have that same get up and go, but never did, they just be jealous and envious of you just talking about that you went to another state. Yeah, I was talking about you going somewhere. Yeah, no, no, no. But you just mad because you want to do it, you just don't have the gusto to do it. I always say that this is how I feel. I feel as though if you feel like it's just best for you to sever ties and then kind of just slowly distance yourself for mental reasons, then do it. Because at the end of the day, it's about your mental health. And it can be exhausting, like you said, to talk to somebody who's really not listening to you. And then that can be, it can be anxiety that can come from that, anxiety from talking to this person, anxiety from listening to them, all this different emotions. And anxiety can lead to like stress and cancer and all kind of stuff. So just for your own comfort, if you feel as though it's a stretch, it's a pull, and it's working your nerves, then just slowly but surely distance yourself and just kind of fall off. And then, y'all talk to each other here and there and whatever. Then y'all talk to each other here and there. And if y'all don't talk to each other, then it is what it is. But, it's sometimes you just have to put forth the effort into making sure that you're good. Because ain't nobody gonna care for you like you care for yourself, sugar mama. But I do appreciate that you hit me up, girl. I hope. Listen, I'm not a therapist, child, but I'm gonna tell you what I would do. And what I would do is I would just slowly but surely just start distancing myself from that person. And if they ask, just say, hey, you be seeming a little. Depending on how you talk to the person, but you be seeming a little salty when I talk to you. So go ahead on and click that like and share button and subscribe, and I'll hit y'all up later. Talk to you later. Oh, consistency is key.